a mysterious world with a little-known lifestyle, extinct creatures, and people who lived for centuries. Suppose giants walked the earth, and there was an era that arouses the curiosity of many. This scenario takes us back to the Antediluvian era, a historical phase mentioned in ancient sacred texts that raises various questions and theories. The combination of stories about colossal beings, ancient civilizations, and catastrophic events creates a fascinating and, at the same time, mysterious panorama. This era not only intrigues scholars and theologians, but also inspires writers and filmmakers who try to capture the grandeur and enigmas of this period in their works. The Bible mentions the period before the flood in the first chapters of the book of Genesis. According to the biblical account, the antediluvian human civilization achieved great feats, but also indulged in a culture of sin. These chapters of Genesis, although brief, contain a wealth of information that offers a glimpse into the life and challenges faced by humanity at that time. The text suggests a society advanced in many aspects but morally decadent, which eventually led to divine intervention. The Genesis narrative not only documents historical events, but also offers lessons and reflections on human nature and man's relationship with the divine. The first antediluvian family was that of Adam. After being expelled from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve settled and had sons and daughters. Their first son, Cain, became the first murderer by killing his brother Abel. Cain was marked by God and built a city called Enoch, named after his son. This was the first city mentioned in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 4. The story of Cain and Abel, besides being a tale of family tragedy, symbolizes the emergence of conflict and violence in human history. Cain's construction of the city of Enoch represents a milestone in the development of civilization, indicating an advance in social structures and urban organization, despite the mark of sin and transgression that accompanied these early generations. Contrary to extra-biblical theories, the scriptures affirm that man was created by God as a rational and morally capable being. Although there was an intellectual and technological evolution, there was no evolutionary process of the species. Cain, for example, was able to build a city, and his descendants made great inventions, such as Jabal, Jubal, and Tubal-Cain, who introduced cattle breeding, music, and metallurgy. These innovations reflect human creativity and ingenuity, highlighting that even in ancient times, there was a constant pursuit of progress and improvement. The contributions of these early inventors laid the foundations for many of the technologies and arts that continue to evolve today. Noah, in his time, also demonstrated human capability by building the ark according to divine instructions. This indicates that the Antediluvian era had significant technological and cultural development. The construction of the ark, a monumental task, not only demonstrates Noah's technical skill but also his faith and obedience to God. This project, detailed in the Bible, shows that the people of that time possessed advanced knowledge of engineering and construction. Furthermore, Noah's story is a testament to the resilience and capacity of humans to face extraordinary challenges with determination and faith. Regarding the duration of this period, the Bible does not provide an exact time, but many scholars believe it may have been longer than the rest of biblical history. The genealogical list in Genesis 5 offers some chronology, but does not aim for chronological precision, focusing more on important lineages. The longevity of antediluvian people, living for hundreds of years, contributed to technological advancement and the transmission of knowledge. This longevity allowed the skills and wisdom accumulated over extremely long lives to be directly passed down from generation to generation, without the knowledge losses that occur in shorter life cycles. Despite this progress, the period was marked by sin. The sinful lifestyle of Cain spread rapidly. Lamech, one of his descendants, was the first polygamist and a murderer proud of his cruelty. In Genesis 6, it is mentioned the mixing of the sons of God with the daughters of men, interpreted by many as the union of godly people with ungodly ones, leading to the moral degeneration of society. These accounts suggest an ethical and moral decline that intensified over time, making society increasingly corrupted and distant from divine principles. The spread of sin and violence created an environment where justice and righteousness were exceptions, culminating in the divine decision to purify the earth through the flood. Even so, some, like Abel and Enoch, maintained their faith in God. Noah also lived in this period and stood out for his righteousness. At the end of the Antediluvian era, Noah and his family were the only ones spared from the flood due to their faithfulness to God. Noah's story is a powerful narrative of hope and redemption, showing that even in times of great wickedness and corruption, there is still room for justice and divine mercy. Noah's Ark not only saved his family but also preserved the continuity of life on earth, symbolizing renewal and the promise of a new beginning for humanity. The Antediluvian period ended with God's wrath and destruction by the flood. Human wickedness reached such a point that God expressed regret for having created man. In the New Testament, Peter describes the end of the Antediluvian era as destruction by the flood. This cataclysmic event serves as a potent reminder of the consequences of sin and disobedience. The narrative of the flood emphasizes the seriousness with which God regards justice and morality, and the devastation brought by the floodwaters is a symbol of divine judgment on iniquity. It is a story that continues to resonate as a warning about the need for righteousness and repentance. Everything that happened serves as a warning to us. Jesus stated that in the last days, the antediluvian lifestyle will repeat itself, with people living according to their own desires, ignoring the call to repentance. When God's judgment comes, it will be too late to turn back. This prediction by Jesus underscores the importance of being vigilant and prepared, living a life of integrity and faith. Just as the antediluvian generation did not realize the imminence of the flood until it was too late, today's humanity is exhorted not to ignore the signs and divine warnings, seeking a deeper and more sincere relationship with God before the final judgment occurs. Leave in the comments what you think about the Antediluvian era, and if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. The exchange of ideas and perspectives enriches our understanding of these fascinating and mysterious themes, and everyone's participation is valuable to keep the dialogue and continuous reflection on history and spirituality